Good evening, welcome, Shabbat Shalom. We're delighted you are with us this evening. We're going to begin by singing together Shalom Aleichem. If you can see a Reform Siddur, it's on page 104. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei HaSharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei HaMalachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Boachem LaShalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei HaMalachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Bachuni LaShalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei HaMalachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Tzedchem LaShalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei HaMalachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. On Wednesday afternoon, just before 5 o'clock our time, I received a message from an American friend. I didn't realize, she said, how much I've missed having a president who speaks like a president. I imagine we all know what she meant. Watching the inauguration, listening to President Biden's address on Wednesday, one was struck by how different it was, how restabilizing it felt, and how much we therefore have to be grateful for as we come to the end of this week and make the journey into Shabbat. It wasn't the most fluent or elegant of speeches, to English tastes a touch exceptionalist in places, but something very important was happening. A re-establishing of norms, an assertion of decency and integrity. Biden emphasized ideals that we used to take for granted: truth, respect, service, cooperation. And this matters. As we this evening welcome to Erev Jews from around the world as part of the World Union of Progressive Judaism's Shabbat around the world, we recognize that what happened on Wednesday makes a difference for all of us, wherever we are. As progressive Jews around the world, we have lived with a dissonance these last 4 years. 4 years in which our core religious values, our ideals, have been in tension with the worldview of some of the most powerful voices on the planet. Of course, these voices have not gone away, here in this country too. But this Shabbat, they are less prominent, less powerful, their volume a little quieter than this time last week. So as we enter into this Shabbat, that is a cause for optimism and for gratitude. And there was something else to be grateful for in Biden's speech too. Something else that really matters, that has been lacking these last few months. One of the many challenges of this moment we are all living through is the holding at the same time of very different emotions. The pain of loss, the loss of loved ones, the loss of normality, the loss of possibility. And alongside that, still a real optimism, a need for hopefulness. Biden both recognized the experience we have lived through in the last 10 months, and also reminded us that it will end. Not overpromising with a sense of bravado, nor underplaying the pain or loss, but with a quiet sense that with time and commitment, we can and will get through. A hopefulness, a sense of aspiration, the idea that better is possible, no longer merely it is what it is. And to make this point, Biden used a verse from the book of Psalms, from Psalm 30, a psalm which in a classical liturgy is read every morning. Weeping may endure for a night, but joy cometh in the morning, he said. In Hebrew, Erev yalin bechi v'laboker rina. It was an extraordinary choice of verse, a verse that will take us into our Erev Shabbat service this evening. For the psalmist recognizes this reality of our lives, the inevitably of holding both sadness and joy, that we encounter both. The psalm recognizes that it sometimes feels as though weeping will endure forever, but ultimately dawn will come. We will be able to engage in Rina, literally in joyful song. On this Erev Shabbat, as we gather together, welcoming Jews from around the world, our hearts continue to weep. We weep for the many thousands experiencing pain and loss. As a community, once again, we weep as we recognize our own losses this week. But we also feel hope. The hope of there being a president who, as my friend put it, speaks like a president. The hope that comes from the reassertion of truth, integrity, decency, the possibility of respectful disagreement, key to our lives. And the knowledge that this shared experience will indeed end. Ba'erev yalin bechi v'laboker rina. So on this Erev Shabbat, we are going to sing Rina, joyous song, on our way into Shabbat. If you're joining us for the first time, welcome. There's a special supplement to take you into Kabbalat Shabbat, which you can find on our website. Also, there is a link to the British Reformed Siddur, and if you're watching on YouTube, you can find the link to join Zoom if you wish there as well. And while we give you time to find those things, we're going to sing a nigun, a joyous nigun of hope and optimism together. Yallai, lai, 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 yallai, lai, 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 yallai, lai, 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 yallai, lai, yallai, lai, yallai, lai, 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 yallai, lai, 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 yallai, lai, 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 yallai, lai, yallai, lai, yallai, lai, 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 yallai, lai, yallai. Yeah, lie, 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 lie. Yeah, lie, 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 lie. Yeah, lie, lie, lie. Yeah, lie, lie, yeah, lie. Yeah, lie, lie, lie. Yeah, lie, lie, lie. Yeah, lie, lie. Share. Al kol Elohim. L'chunarana l'Adonai, Naria l'Tzoyishenu. L'chunarana l'Adonai, Naria l'Tzoyishenu. Nekadma fanav v'toda, Bizmirot Naria lo. Nekadma fanav v'toda, Bizmirot Naria lo. L'chunarana l'Adonai, Naria l'Tzoyishenu. L'chunarana l'Adonai, Naria l'Tzoyishenu. Nekadma fanav v'toda, Bizmirot Naria lo. Nekadma fanav v'toda, Bizmirot Naria lo. Zamru l'Adonai, Bechinor, Bechinor, v'kozimra. 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 Zamru l'Adonai, Bechinor, Bechinor, v'kozimra.
With that joyful song in our hearts, we invite you to join with us in lighting Shabbat candles, and we welcome you to have them in clear view of the camera if you are able to, allowing us to bring light and joy into one another's homes. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shal Shabbat. We invite you to join with us in singing and welcoming the Shabbat bride into our homes on page 121.
B'nei Shabbat nekabela l'chadodi likrat kana. B'nei Shabbat
Shabbat, B'nai Shabbat nekabela. Shamor v'zachor, b'dibor echad, ishmi'anu el hamiuchad. Adonai echad, u'shamor echad, l'Hashem l'tiferet v'litila, l'chadodi likrat kala. B'nai Shabbat nekabela, l'chadodi likrat kala. B'nai Shabbat nekabela. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'lecha, ki b'kol habaracha. Merosh mikedem nesucha, som ma'aseh b'machshav v'tefila, l'chadodi likrat kala. B'nai Shabbat nekabela, l'chadodi likrat kala. B'nai Shabbat nekabela. Hitorari, ki ba'oref, kumi uri, shidaberi, kavod Adonai, alayich nigla, l'chadodi likrat kala. B'nai Shabbat nekabela, l'chadodi likrat kala. B'nai Shabbat nekabela. Boi b'shalom, atzarepala, gam b'simcha, u'b'tzola, toch emunei, am segula, boi chala, l'chadodi likrat kala. B'nai Shabbat nekabela, l'chadodi likrat kala. B'nai Shabbat nekabela. We recognize that not everyone comes to this Shabbat in joyful song, but some come to this Shabbat in mourning. To all of those who come to this Shabbat with a sadness in their hearts, we take this time to wish you the traditional words of consolation. Hamakom yenachem etchem b'toch sha'ah ha'avilim. May the ever-present God comfort you, together with all those who mourn. We turn to our psalm for the Shabbat day, Mizmor Shir Yom HaShabbat, on page 124. Mizmor Shir Yom HaShabbat, Tov lehodot l'Adonai. Mizmor Shir Yom HaShabbat, Tov lehodot l'Adonai. Uzamer l'shimcha elyon, uzamer l'shimcha elyon. Lahagid baboker chasecha,
באמונתך בלילות.
עלי עשור ועלי נבל, עלי היגיון בכינור, כי שימחתני אדוני בפועלך, במעשה ידיך ארנן. מה גדלו מעשיך אדוני, מאוד עמקו מחשבותיך. איש בעל לא ידע, וכסיל לא יבין עצות. בפרח רשעים כמו עשב, ויציצו כל פועלי אבן, להישמדם עדי עד. ואתה מרום לעולם אדוני. כי הנה אויביך אדוני, כי הנה אויביך יאבדו, יתפרדו כל פועלי אבן. ותרעם קרעם קרני, בלותי בשמן רענן, ותבט עיני בשירי, בקמים עלי מרעים, תשמענה אוזני.
צדיק התמה יפרח, כארץ בלבנון יזכה. שתולים בבית אדוני, בחצרות אלוהינו יפריחו. עוד ינבון בשיבה, דשנים רעננים יהיו. להגיד כי אשר אדוני, צורי ולא הבלטה בו. We invite you to rise with us as we turn to the Baruch Hu.
Baruch Hu et Adonai, HaMevorach. We continue on our supplements, singing the words of Noam Katz.
Roll into dark, roll into night. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Roll into dark, roll into night. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Moreo v'layla golel omipnei choshech. Golel omipnei choshech v'choshech mipnei yom.
Roll
dark.
into
Roll
light.
into
Night
light.
becomes
Night
day.
becomes day.
Day turns to
Day
night.
turns to
Roll
night.
into
Roll
dark.
into
Roll
dark.
into
Roll
light.
into
Night
light.
becomes day.
Day
Day turns to night. Baruch atah Adonai, hama'ariv aravim. Blessed are you, God, who brings on the evening twilight.
We're on page 129. With everlasting love have you loved your people, the family of Israel. Teaching and practice, duty and justice, these you have taught us. Therefore, our God and guide, we think upon all this before we sleep and when we wake, and rejoice and delight in your teaching and its practice forever and ever. For they are our life and the measure of our days. We keep them in mind both day and night. Never take your love away from us. Blessed are you, God, who loves your people, Israel. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך, בכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ושוכבך וקומך ושעתם לאות על ידך והיו לו תותפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך. And we're just going to take some time to read the second paragraph of Shema for ourselves, and we'll come together for the third paragraph on page 134. Vayom Adonai el Moshe לאמור, דבר אל בני ישראל ואמרת להם, ועשו להם ציצית על כנפי בגדיהם לדורותם, ונתנו על ציצית הכנף לציל תכלת, והיה לכם לציצית וראיתם אותו, וזכרתם את כל מצוות אדוני ועשיתם אותם, ולא תתירו אחרי לבבכם ואחרי עיניכם אשר אתם זונים אחריהם, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
As we stand on the metaphorical shores of the sea, we once again hold many different emotions. We hold optimism and anticipation, alongside feelings of pain and loss. Tomorrow we read Parashat Bo with the final set of plagues, including the death of the firstborn. Our redemption carries with it suffering and sorrow, and even in this moment of joy, we hold the sadness of lives lost. So we turn to our joyful song of redemption, but we sing it holding that tension, recognizing the suffering that we carry alongside our own rejoicing. V'ne'amar, ki fada Adonai et Yaakov, v'ga'alo miyad chazak mimenu, baruch ata Adonai, ga'al Yisrael. We turn to page 136 and read together our prayer for peace and protection. Source of our life and our sovereign, cause us to lie down in peace and rise again to enjoy life. Spread over us the covering of your peace. Guide us with your good counsel and save us for the sake of your name. Be a shield about us, turning away every enemy, disease, violence, hunger, and sorrow. Remove the temptation that awaits us and the guilt that lies behind us. Shelter us in the shadow of your wings, for you are a God who guards and protects us, a ruler of mercy and compassion. Guard us when we go out and when we come in, to enjoy life in peace both now and forever, and spread over us the shelter of your peace. Blessed are you, God, spreading the shelter of peace over us, over your people Israel, and over all the world.
In these odd times, Shabbat fulfills many purposes for us. It is a source of joy, of joyful song, but also a source of quiet, a time when we can transform our homes from workplaces, from schools, back into our homes as a source of quiet and comfort. So we're going to sing V'shamru on page 137 with that hope of calm and comfort for the next 25 hours. And then we're going to go straight into a silent Amidah. And at the end of the Amidah, we'll come together on page 149 for Yehiyu L'Ratzon. So on page 137.
V'shameru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat le'torotam berit olam. Beini uvein b'nei Yisrael oti le'olam, oti le'olam. V'shameru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat le'torotam berit olam. Ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai et ha-shamayim ve'et ha'aretz. V'shameru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat le'torotam berit olam. U'bayom hashvi'i Shabbat vayinafash, Shabbat vayinafash. V'shameru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat le'torotam berit olam. Le'torotam berit olam. Yai, lai, 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 lai. 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 Adonai, Sevatai tiftach, Ufi ha'agid, Tehilatecha. Adonai, Sevatai tiftach, Ufi ha'agid, Tehilatecha.
Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Yularazon imrefi v'hegyon libi lefanecha Adonai Suri v'goai Oseh shalom b'imroma v'yaseh shalom aleinu v'Yaakov Yisrael v'Yaakov ha'olam Ya la 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 Ya la la la.
We invite you to rise with us and turn to page 310 as we prepare to conclude our service with the words of the Aleinu.
Einon,
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 Einon, Aleinu לשבח לאדון הכל, לצקת ולעיר בראשית, אשר בחר בנו מכל העמים, ונתן לנו את תורתו. Einon,
Einon,
Einon, Einon, Einon, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומועדים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא.
Einon,
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 שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסד הארץ, ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינתו בגובה מרומים. הוא אלוהינו, Einon, Einon,
Einon,
Einon,
Einon,
Einon, Einon, אמת מלכנו, אפס תורתו, ככתוב בתורתו, וידעת היום והשבות אל לבביך, כי אדוני הוא האלוהים בשמיים ממעל ועל הארץ מתחת Einon,
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 Einon, Einon, We turn to page 313 and read together. Al kein nekavelecha Adonai Eloheinu, lirot mehera b'tiferet uzecha, laha'aveh gilulim min haaretz, v'ha'elilim karot yikaretun, litaken olam b'malchut shaddai, v'chol b'nei vasa yikru v'shmecha, lahafnot elecha kol rishei aretz, yakiru v'yedu kol yoshvei tevel, ki shutafim kulanu b'tikun olamecha, ki hamalchut shelcha hi, v'le'ol me'od timloch b'chavod, k'katuv b'toratecha, Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed. V'nemar, v'haya Adonai, l'melech al kol haaretz, bayom ha'hu, bayom ha'hu, yeh Adonai echad. U'shamo, u'shamo, u'shamo echad.
That sense of holding two things at once, of holding both optimism and hope and joy and the comfort of Shabbat, but also the sadness and loss that many of us experiencing at the moment, to feel that sense of tension within. Throughout this now very long period of being separate from one another, we have always stood together at the end of our services, remembering those who've died and seeking to provide comfort to those who have lost someone. And in this week, we as a community announced the deaths of 5 of our members: Michael Abraham, of Greta Godfrey, of Gwendolyn Gwen Lee, of Eva Salish, and of David Stern. We hope and pray that God and community will be a source of comfort to all who come to this Shabbat in mourning, having lost someone they love. We stand too with all of those in the Shloshim and the Shana, the period since the loss of a loved one. And we remember with those who are marking the anniversary of the death of someone they loved. With them, we remember Sophie Black, Sydney Davis, Solomon Fine, Betty Green, Otto Greenwood, Henry Jackson, David Joseph, Alec Kishner, David Lyons, Charlotte Michaels, Hannah-Laura Orlander, Jacob Orlander, Evelyn Pell, Nathan Rubin, Anne Salter, Barney Salter, Joe Saunders, Blanche Seaton, Sylvia Shear, Bella Sherman, Armand Shukrun, Harry Singer, Vivian Solomon, John Stanton, Pierre Sussman, Peter Weiner, Chaim Zlotniki, and Kamil Zvelabil. Zichronam Livracha, may their memories be for a blessing. In loving memory, we invite all those who come to this Shabbat in mourning to join with me in leading their community in the Mourners Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah.
Amen.
Ba'alma divrach chirutei v'yamlich malchutei. B'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayei dichol beit Yisrael. B'gala v'zman kariv v'imru. Amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevarach le'olam l'almei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'a v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yitada v'yitalei v'yithalal shemei dikudsha berechu. Le'ela min kol bechata v'shirata. Tushbechata v'nechemata. Diamiran ba'alma v'imru. Amen. Yehei shlama Rabbah min Shemaya. v'chaim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen.
Amen.
Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'al kol ha'olam v'imru
Amen.
amen. So we are delighted to welcome this evening guests from around the world who have joined us for this Shabbat Around the World service from the World Union of Progressive Judaism. We are always here on a Friday night, 6:30 London time. You are always welcome to join us. It's just like this every Friday. One day we will have people in this room again. We yearn for that moment to come. But while we are on Zoom, we are delighted for anyone to join us at any point. I want to just do some special welcomes. I want to particularly welcome Sonia Guntner, our friend Sonia, who is the chair of the European Union of Progressive Judaism. Sonia, you're always very welcome. And also Carol Sterling, who is the chair of the World Union of Progressive Judaism. We're also delighted that joining us this evening is Rabbi Sergio Bergman, who is the president of the World Union of Progressive Judaism. And through the magic of technology, I think he is going to just speak to us very briefly from New York, I think.
That's right, sure. It's a privilege to be with all of you, Aliyat congregation, beautiful service, wonderful Shabbat that give us peace and also the opportunity together with Sonia and Carol to thank you for having us, to be part of Shabbat Around the World and to share that in every place that we are only one people, one extended family, wishing all the best to all of you. Thank you for the opportunity to share with the World Union for Progressive Judaism. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Sergio, it's lovely to have you with us. You're always very welcome. Come back and give a sermon at some point. We'd be delighted to host you. There is something very special about when we look outside of ourselves and remember that we are part of a broader movement, part of a broader Jewish world, that there are, I think, 1,200 congregations as part of the World Union of Progressive Judaism, nearly 2 million of us who celebrate Shabbat like this around the world. Sometimes in England, it's very easy to think that we're a small minority compared to the dominant Orthodox majority, but to be reminded that we are everywhere and that we are so many is very special indeed. And that we have a special role in the world, in making the world better through our acts of loving kindness. So we're going to conclude before Kiddush by singing together Olam Chesed Yibaneh. We invite you as we do so to find Kiddush for yourselves so that we can all make Kiddush together. Olam Chesed Yibaneh, Yalalai, lai, lai, yalalai, lai. Olam Chesed Yibaneh, Yalalai, lai, lai, yalalai, lai. Olam Chesed Yibaneh, Yalalai, lai, lai. Olam Chesed Yibaneh, Yalalai, lai, lai. Yai, lai, 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 yai, lai, 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 lai. Yalalai, lai, 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 lai. Yalalai, lai, lai, yalalai. Yai, lai, 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 yai, lai, 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 lai. Yalalai, lai, 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 lai. Yalalai, lai, lai, yalalai. Oh, say shalom b'mromav. Say shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei tevel v'imru amen. Yai, lai, 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 yai, lai, 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 lai. Yalalai, lai, 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 lai. Yalalai, lai, lai, yalalai. Yai, lai, 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 lai. Yai, lai, 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 lai. Yalalai, lai, 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 lai. Yalalai, lai, lai, yalalai. Olam Chesed Yibaneh, Yalalai, lai, lai, yalalai, lai. I invite you to join with me in Kiddush. If you're following in the MRJ Siddur, we're on page 452. ויחולו השמיים והארץ וכל צבאם, ויחל אלוהים ביום השביעי מלאכתו אשר עשה, וישבות ביום השביעי מכל מלאכתו אשר עשה, ויברך אלוהים את יום השביעי ויקדש אותו, כי בו שבת מכל מלאכתו אשר ברא אלוהים לעשות. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם בורא פרי הגפן.
Amen.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם אשר קדישנו במצוותיו ורצה בנו בשבת קודשו באהבה ורצון הנחילנו זיכרון למעשה בראשית כי הוא יום תחילה למקראי קודש, זכר ליציאת מצרים. כי באנו בחרת ואותנו קידשת מכל העמים, בשבת קודשך באהבה וברצון הנחלתנו. ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש Shabbat.
Amen.
L'chaim.
Before we unmute you all to allow you to wish one another Shabbat Shalom, I'm sure you'll all join me in saying how wonderful it is to have Rabbi Josh back on our bimah after his very, very short break that we won't really call a sabbatical, and how wonderful it is to have him join us back here. There are lots of ways you can join us tomorrow morning. So if you're just visiting tonight, don't just be a visitor. Come back and join us tomorrow. Study with us in the morning for Mental Health Awareness Shabbat. And join us for your choice of services, either in here with Cantor Tamara to celebrate the Bat Mitzvah of Amelie Conway, or with Rabbi Josh and myself in the Imre Finu service. We look forward to seeing you. Don't be strangers. Shabbat Shalom from us in the Beit Tefillah, and we'll unmute you now so you can wish one another Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom,
Shabbat
everybody.
Shalom. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, Grace.
Thank you, Shosh.
Shabbat Shalom, Josh.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shalom, everybody.
Shalom, Gideon.
Shalom. We green.